Hey there, what's up? Let's do some abs and core workout in a Pilates style fashion. Hello. Just was checking my Slack messages. It's good to be back. Good to see you. And let's do 30 minutes of abs and core workout in a Pilates style fashion. All you'll need is a mat today and some water. Let's get started with a warm-up. Come to all fours. And we'll start with some cat and cow movements. So inhale. Drop the stomach, arch the back, look up towards the corners of your room, and then exhale, push the mat away, round your back, and look towards your belly button. Let's do that 2 more times. Let me just turn down my monitor here. So inhale, drop the stomach, look up towards the corners of the room, arch your back, and then exhale, round your back, push the mat away, look towards your belly button. Great job. Let's come back to all fours, neutral spine, and we will stretch out the upper back. So let's twist open to the right. I don't hear any music anymore either. So let's come back to all fours again. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's open up the left arm to the sky this time. Thread it underneath the right armpit. Rest your left shoulder down on the mat, walk your right hand forward, and just hang out here for a few breaths. All of the weight's in your left shoulder this time. Alright, great job. Let's walk our right hand back to center. Let's take a high cobra. So walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Let your pelvis fall, touching the mat. Look up again towards the corners of the room. Press the mat away. Nice long neck, shoulders back and down. And then let's sit back into a child's pose. And I'll talk about our first exercise. So push your weight back to your heels, child's pose. Our first exercise will be a plank. Our last exercise will be a plank. So let's come to all fours and get ready for this plank. Let's step our right foot back and then our left foot back. We're doing a plank for 2 minutes and 27 seconds. So every time we do a plank, we add on 1 second to our plank timer. So we're up to 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Good plank form consists of the following. Make sure your palms are firmly pressing into the mat. All 10 fingers are nice and wide. Your wrists are right over your palms, and your elbows are right over your wrists, and your shoulders are right over your elbows. Next, engage your abs. Make sure your navel is pulling towards your spine. If someone were to try and knock you over right now, they should not be able to. Retract your shoulder blades slightly. Engage your glutes. Also your hamstrings. Your toes are curled under. Some of your weight is shifted back towards your toes. We're over about halfway through the plank. You can also go down to a forearm plank if you would like. Just make sure you bring your butt with you. So your butt is always in line with your shoulders or slightly underneath your shoulders. It should never be above your shoulders. Nice and low. Less than 1 minute to go on the plank. And then we'll sit back into a child's pose. So you can alternate between the forearm plank and the straight arm plank. Just make sure that you're engaging all of your muscles. You're looking down at the mat, your neck is nice and neutral. Never have your butt above. When you do this, you don't really work your core. About 20 seconds to go. When you hear the countdown timer, we'll sit back into a child's pose. Last 10, You got this. Great job. Sit back into a child's pose. Your knees a little wider than your hips. We'll take a quick child's pose here. Nice deep breath in and nice exhale. All right, let's get going on some abs and core exercise. So some of what we do will be Pilates style, others just general core strengthening. Let's start out with a bird dog. All right, so come to all fours. Just checking in on the live stream to make sure you can see my head. Come to all fours, extend your right arm forward and then your left leg back. So your left leg is about hip height. Let me readjust here. Your left leg is about hip height, reaching towards the back wall, and your right arm is reaching forward, trying to touch the front wall. Engage your abs. Try and get that curve out of your low back by engaging your abs in and up. And then on the next exhale, let's take the right arm and extend it out to the right side of your body, so you're making a straight line from your right shoulder to your right hand. Keep on reaching that left leg back, and then on your next exhale, scoop your right hand underneath your left armpit, hold it there. Make sure your hips are nice and square with the mat, both hip bones pointing towards the mat. On your next exhale, rotate even further with that right hand underneath the left. Torso rotates a little bit as well. All right, and then let's reverse this. So on your next exhale, come back, right hand underneath left armpit. Keep that left leg extended back. And then on your next exhale, right arm straight out from your shoulder. And then on your next exhale, right hand comes back straight out ahead of you, trying to touch the wall in front of you. And then let's drive our right elbow to our left knee. So right elbow comes to left knee. Hold that for a few seconds. And then on your next exhale, let's place everything back down to the mat. Feel free to come off your wrist for a second or two. Sit back, readjust. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's come to all four, quadruped neutral position. And let's do the other side. So the left arm reaches forward, straight out towards the wall in front of you. The right leg reaches back, trying to touch the wall behind you. Make sure your hips are nice and square and that right leg is really reaching back. We'll hold the standard bird dog for a few seconds and then we'll continue on. Make sure your abs are engaged. That'll make you a little bit straighter if you really engage your abs. All right, on the next exhale, take your left arm out to the left side of your body, so you're making a straight line from your left shoulder to your left hand. Still reaching that right leg back. On the next exhale, scoop your left hand underneath your right armpit. Keep holding that. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the exhale, keep on extending your left hand past your right armpit, twisting slightly to the right. That right leg still extending back, really reaching. And then let's come back to center. So left hand comes back underneath the right armpit. Inhale, exhale, left hand extends out. Straight arm from the left shoulder to the left hand. And then on your next exhale, bring your left arm back to your front, looking down at the mat. Deep breath in. On an exhale, drive your left elbow towards your right knee. Try and get both of them to touch. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Place everything back down. Let's sit back into another child's pose so we can relax everything briefly, and then we'll move on. All right, great job. Let's flip over, do some abs and core work on our back. So your feet will be on the mat, feet and knees a little bit less wide than your hips. So get that situated before you roll on down. Then roll on down, nice and slow. Your feet and knees are still the same distance apart. Your lower back is glued to the mat, arms pressing down into the mat, and head nice and neutral, looking up at the sky. From here, we're going to do 3 pelvic lifts. First one, we'll start with both feet on the ground, then we'll move to one-legged pelvic lift. So take a nice deep breath in, and then on your exhale, peel your pelvis up. Oh, before you do that, I apologize. Let's move our feet in so they're underneath our knees. So let's make sure that is happening. Then on your next exhale, peel your pelvis up vertebrae by vertebrae. And once you get that pelvis up to the sky, take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, lower each vertebrae down to your mat. One by one, the pelvis is the last thing to touch. Make sure your lower back is glued to the mat so there's no space. And see how that felt with your feet. For me, I feel like I need to move my feet in even more towards my butt. I felt like my quads and hamstrings were working too much there. I want my butt and my core to be doing most of the work. All right, let's move on to a one-legged pelvic lift. Raise that right leg straight up to the sky, as straight as you can today. Take a nice big inhale, then the same movement, exhale, peel the pelvis up, pushing your hips up to the sky, using your core, keeping that right leg straight. We'll keep it straight for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your pelvis, your vertebrae by vertebrae, back down. Your pelvis is the last thing to touch, and when that touches the mat, your right foot comes back down. All right, let's do the same thing on the left side. So extend the left leg up long. Take a nice big inhale, then on the exhale, peel your pelvis up again, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping the left leg straight this time, using your core to do most of the work, engaging your glutes. And we'll hold that for 3, 2, and 1. Let's roll your upper back, mid back, and then lower back down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. When that pelvis touches the mat, your left foot comes back down. Great job. Let's bring our knees into our chest, give ourselves a hug, rock from side to side. Release the lower back a little bit. Just doing a time check, about 10 minutes and 45 seconds left. All right, let's place our feet back down on the mat. Let's bring our feet and knees together on the mat. So ankle bones, inner thighs, shins are touching each other. Make sure your lower back is glued to the mat. Take a nice big inhale, then on the exhale, bring your legs up to tabletop. So you should have a pretty good 90-degree angle between your shins and your thighs. Your shins are parallel with the mat. Your feet are in the same line with your shins. And your lower back is glued to the mat. Let's curl our head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Raise our arms maybe 3 or 4 inches so they're in line with the pockets of your pants if you have pockets. Let's extend the legs out long if that feels good for you. If not, you can keep them into tabletop. Extend the legs out to about 45-degree angle as straight as you can. And let's pump our arms vigorously at our sides for 100 reps. This is called Pilates 100s. I'll count, just keep on pumping. So inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. exhale. If your head is moving a lot, make your motion of your arms a little smaller, more controlled. Be sure to straighten those legs if you can at that 45-degree angle. 85. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Great job. Hold that. Stop. Let's scissor or slice with our feet. We'll do 3, 2, 1, and then let's slowly lower our legs as we scissor our feet down to the mat. Keep your head, neck, and shoulders curled up off the mat. This is endurance right here. So you're slicing back and forth while you lower your legs slowly until they're just a few inches off the mat, and then you bring them back up. Great job. Once they come back up, let's lower our legs back to 45 degrees. Place our hands, interlocking fingers behind our back. Elbows are as wide as possible. You should barely see them in your peripheral vision. Let's take the right leg into tabletop. Take the left armpit, and try and touch your left armpit to your right knee. So curl, reach, try and get that left armpit to the right knee, and then let's slowly switch, not dropping any of our head, neck, or shoulders down, and switch again, slow and controlled, and switch. We'll do 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Great job. Let's lower our head to the mat. Bring your knees in, rock your knees from side to side, turn your head right and left. Great job. Just checking on the amount of battery I have left. So after you take a break, excuse me, rocking back and forth, let's do some bicycles. So bring your legs back to tabletop. Make sure your feet are glued together. Your knees, your inner thighs are all touching. Hands are down at the mat. You can either keep your head up or down for this exercise. I'll keep it down. Let's raise the legs up straight to the sky, still glued together. And then let's create big bicycle motions. Imagine you're riding a humongous bicycle, slowly, controlled, pedaling in one direction, nice and big movements. We'll do 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Hold that and let's reverse the circle. So same movement, different direction, bicycling the legs nice and wide, nice and big circles for 3, 2, and last one. Great job. Let's bring our knees into our chest, rock your knees from side to side, and you can turn your head left and right. All right, 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes before we start our last plank of the day, but since we have about 5 minutes left, we'll do a couple of side planks. Let me just grab some water. All right, much better. So we'll do a side plank on the right, side plank on the left. The way we'll start out with that is a forearm plank. So come to your forearms. Forearms are parallel. Then turn them so they are stacked one below the other. So we will do a side plank starting with a left side plank. So rotate open to your left. So all of the weight's on your right forearm. Raise your left arm up to the sky. And then let's raise our left side of our hips up to the sky for 3, 2. On the last one, hold it up. Circle your wrist. Lift that left leg up for 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Let's lower that leg, lower the arm, and switch over to the other side. So open up to the right this time. right arm up to the sky, and we will pulse our hips up to the sky. 5, 4, 3. On the last one, we'll hold it up. 2. Last one, hold it up. Circle your wrist. Raise that right leg up for 3, 2, 1. Lower the right leg back down to the mat. Right arm comes back down. Let's shift our weight forward and back a few times. And then let's sit back into a child's pose. All right, great job. Let's flip on over. Do a few sitting exercises. Let's sit up nice and tall, feet on the mat, knees bent, feet out in front of your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders down and back. Grab slightly behind your thighs. Let's create a C curve with our spine. So tilt your pelvis forward and under as you kind of suck in your navel. Create that C shape with your spine. And then when you're ready, let's raise our feet up to tabletop. Make sure there's nothing behind you, nothing behind your neck, your back. We'll be rolling like a ball. Let me move forward for a little extra safety here. So C shape with that spine, feet and legs into the tabletop. We'll roll back on the inhale, and on the exhale, roll forward, keeping that tabletop with your legs. So let's roll back just to the tips of your shoulder blades. You do not want to roll back to your neck, and then right back up. We'll do 3 more. 2 more with our hands. Last one with our hands, and then we'll do 3 with no hands. So come back up to that tabletop. Hands reach forward, holding on to nothing. Shoulders down and back. Let's do 3 rolling like balls with no hands. 1, 2, and last one. Great job. Come up, let's place our feet on the floor. Knees are bent. Sit up again nice and tall. Create that C shape with your spine. Let's extend the right leg up and straight as far as you can today. Left hand goes outside the right ankle, and then we'll twist open to the right, looking past our right shoulder to our right hand. Keep that right leg nice and straight. Keep on twisting towards that wall, reaching towards that wall. And then let's come back to center. Right hand goes on the inside of the right ankle this time as we twist open to the left, looking past your left shoulder towards the left hand. Trying to reach that back wall, extending that right leg as straight as you can. Even if you're tight, let's come back to center. Place that foot down, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So let's create that C shape with our spine. Extend the left leg out. Excuse me. Right hand goes on inside the left ankle. Twist open to the left this time, extending your left leg as straight as possible. If you need to lower your leg to keep it straighter and grab somewhere around your calf, that's fine. The object here is to create a straight as possible leg. Let's come back to center. Left hand on the inside of the left ankle this time. Twist open to the right. And in about 20 seconds, we'll get ready for our last plank of the day for 2 minutes and 28 seconds. All right, let's come back to center. Get ready for that final plank, then we'll get into a cool down. Let me grab everything that I need to take a sip of water. Let's come to all fours. Step your right foot back, meet it with your left foot. And let's get this last plank started. So my feet are about hip distance apart. If you want, you can have them closer together. You can have them touching. That's called a Pilates plank. I'll be doing a standard plank, straight arm plank, alternating between a straight arm plank and a forearm plank. So my arms are nice and straight. There's a straight line from my shoulders to my wrists. I'm engaging my abs as tight as possible. My shoulder blades are slightly retracted. I'm looking down at the mat, squeezing my glutes, tightening my hamstrings. My toes are curled under. Some of the weight's in my feet, some of the weights in my hands. My butt is slightly lower than my shoulders. You can have it also about the same height as your shoulders, but really focus on engaging those abs so you don't slump down like this. You want a straight line, hard as a rock, or a diagonal line. So this is kind of like a straight line plank. This is more of a diagonal. But the point here is to keep everything engaged as tight as possible. I like to switch it up, come down to a forearm plank about halfway through. Less than a minute to go. We started this journey at a 1 minute plank. Now we're up to 2 minutes and 28 seconds. So 88 planks if I do my math correctly. Remember, you can always come to your knees if you need to take a quick breather, but whenever you are ready to pop back up into that plank, go for it. Only 30 seconds left and we'll go into that child's pose for a cool down. Last 20 seconds, you got this. Keep breathing. Shaking is good. That means you're doing it right. I'm shaking quite a bit today. Last 10 seconds. And then we'll sit back into that child's pose. 2, 1. Great job. Sit back into that child's pose. Knees wider than your hips. Push the mat away. Let me put on some even more chill music. All right, here we go. Walk your hands to the left side of the mat. And then come back to center. While you're in that child's pose, walk your hands to the right side. And then back to center. All right, let's come back up to all fours. We'll do another high cobra pose, so walk your hands in front of your shoulders. Let your pelvis fall towards the mat. Look up towards the corners of your room. Push the mat away. Low shoulders, long neck. Great job. Let's come up to downward facing dog. So push back, lift your hips up, pedal your feet out. Head in between your arms, maybe twisting a little bit side to side during the down dog. Great job. Let's come back down to our knees. Flip around to seated, cross-legged. We'll do a side body stretch, 2 side body stretches, and then we will be done. All right, let's raise our arms straight up to the sky. Let your left arm fall to the mat, left forearm, and then bend over to the left. Great job. Come back up. Both arms back up to the sky, reaching nice and tall. Let the right arm fall towards the mat, right forearm, then bending over to the left. Great job. Let's do some shoulder rolls in one direction, shoulder rolls in the other direction. Left hand comes on the right side of the temple. Gently pull over to the left. Back to center. Right hand on the left side. Gently pull to the right. Great job. Take a nice big deep breath in. Let it all go. And that was 30 minutes of abs and core exercises in a Pilates style. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are live every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you like the video, please subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.